You want me to read a story? When I was growing up, my mom, we had, the big Christmas Eve meal over there after my grandmother stopped doing it. And she always had some kind of program that we would do. It was 12 days of Christmas and everybody had a part and you had to do it and it was silly and fun. At our house, there have been several Christmases where I'll read David Sedaris's story about Christmas in the Netherlands, which is really, really good and funny. My friends in the Netherlands don't think it's funny. And I tried to read it to them one time and it played really flat, man. It was dead silence. But, I'll read that and they're just different traditions, that we do. I don't know how many, there are about 10 or 12 stories in here about Christmas and memories. This is called The Currency of Christmas. Mississippians love their holidays, but Christmas feels like it belongs to us more than any other. It's woven into our traditions, from the glow of lights strung along porches to the familiar smell of pecan pie cooling on kitchen counters. Every Mississippian has a favorite holiday. Many of my friends are partial to Halloween. They have fond memories of trick-or-treating through the neighborhoods of their youth and still dress in costume when on October 31st rolls around. Several people I know are fond of Thanksgiving, mostly because hunting season's cranking up and the deer camp is set and ready. I certainly know a fair share of 4th of July enthusiasts who look forward to their annual week-long beach trip. I also have friends who can't wait to blow it out on New Year's Eve, ones who wait all year long for spring break and others who live for Easter. But Christmas, that's mine. December 25th is my favorite holiday, and it's not even close. It's always been my favorite, and no other holiday has matched it for 64 years. As a kid, Christmas meant new toys, but the bicycles and G.I. Joes fade from memory. What sticks with me is the memory of family, all around, laughing, eating, just being together. My brother and I grew up in a home with a single mom. It's just now hitting me as I type this sentence that we were the only family in the neighborhood with that dynamic. It's funny, I never thought of it before, but it's true. The neighborhood was full of the typical mom, dad, 2.5 kids, and a dog. It's not like I hadn't noticed that everyone else had the typical setup, but our place was so full of love and laughter, it never felt different. We lived in a place where the key to happiness wasn't wealth or status, but community. It's been said that it takes a village to raise a child. I'm living proof of that. Sure, there were a few years in my late teens when the community had their hands full with me. Probably more than once wanted to chase me out of the tribe with a broom, but somehow I made it through. Mostly thanks to my family and the folks in that neighborhood who looked out for us like we were their own. My mother was widowed in her early 30s. My brother was 10, I was 6. As monumental as losing a parent is, it didn't break me. Maybe I was too young to understand the gravity of it all. What I remember is the kindness of my mother's friends, filling the gaps with laughter and love. We lacked most of the material things my friends had, but the relational aspects of life were richer and fuller because of the people who surrounded us. In the mid-60s, my father and many of his childhood friends and contemporaries purchased lots together in a new neighborhood that was being developed in the west end of Hattiesburg, Mississippi. My parents were finalizing architectural drawings for the home when he passed away. Instead of playing it safe financially and staying in the house we were living in, my mother scaled down the new house's footprint and moved into the neighborhood as planned. It turned out to be the wisest decision she ever made. That neighborhood at the time was a magical, wholesome, and happy place for a young boy. I didn't have a father in the house, but I had a dozen others in homes nearby. My grandparents and extended family were a huge influence, and I'm sure they gave my mother substantial support along the way. The drill on Christmas morning was always the same. The day started early. The only kids who woke earlier than us were the Himmeter boys next door, whose father was the architect who helped my mom with the house. My brother and I were allowed to go into the den where the stockings were hung, but we had to wait until the grandparents and an aunt or two arrived before we were allowed in the living room where the tree and presents waited. Christmas was a big deal for us because toys weren't gifted throughout the year. Birthdays and Christmas were the only time a new toy was going to show up at our house. Funny, I can only remember a couple of the toys I received over the years, but I can remember almost all the Christmas Eve meals, Christmas breakfasts, and time spent with my loved ones in that house and theirs. My mom was a public school art teacher. We didn't have much money, but as a 64-year-old man, it's clear how rich we truly were. We had love, laughter, and the people who make Christmas feel like something sacred. Not everyone has family to gather around this Christmas. Some will spend it alone, some grieving, and some just trying to get by. So let's reach out, share a meal, lend a hand, offer our time, because being present, that's the true currency of Christmas.